Welcome back. Dan the Glassman here, in the Glassman's world. So once again, waking up and right away just can't do anything but start watching these videos on what's going on in Maui, learning about more evidence is what we're going to talk about today. So there's several videos I've already watched this morning. It's 7:45 right now in the morning here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's Pacific Mountain Time, or sorry, Mountain Standard Time. Where am I at? I was born in Pacific Time Zone. I was born in California. Sorry, guys. So Mountain Standard Time, not Pacific Mountain. What the heck is that? I'm trying to live in both places at once. So we are watching a video today, once again by our friend Eric. I gotta get his last name down. I really need to learn his last name. I don't feel like I'm giving him true respect by not knowing his full last name. But Eric here from Hawaii Real Estate, he's the individual that's been helping everyone out, all the locals, doing his best to really get the community with community fundraisers going, getting in independent individual fundraisers going, GoFundMe's, Venmos, whatever that they can figure out. And so he's also being transparent about giving the money on camera to the people, showing you guys or his viewers that what he's doing is legit. So he's been going out. Now, since day one, I've been watching Eric, and I subscribed to him because I did not trust him, because he's a real estate. He's a realtor. He works in real estate. He's Hawaii Real Estate. That's his channel on YouTube, Hawaii Real Estate. So Eric, at first I didn't trust him. I was like, what's this guy going to do? What's he up to? Is he going to try to get in, try to get all the homes before everyone? And now I'm thinking, you know what? We're probably going to need him to go in and grab all these homes to save them for the people of Lahaina, to invest in all this real estate and all these properties, all this land, before the big shots come in. And they already come in, and they've already put a fence around all of Lahaina town. And I've also possibly heard that there are people still in there, and FEMA won't let them out. And this is just hearsay, and this is allegedly happening, that people are possibly in there, and unless they sign their property away on a contract to FEMA, like I was saying yesterday and many other videos, unless you're actually signing away your rights and your freedoms and your property to FEMA, here you go, FEMA, here you go, federal government, here, have my land. If you don't do that, they're not letting you out to get supplies. They might be starving these people inside, guys. If that's the case, we need to get drone footage up to see if there are people in there that are like SOSing, like, yo, we need help. Like, we need to figure this out, guys. So I'm going to play this video here. We'll probably have the audio either down or maybe off. I might keep it down low so I can kind of hear what's going on. And I'm going to talk about what they're finding and all these things. And as we're talking about this, I also want to share a couple things as far as the directed energy weapons, the DEWs, that I've been talking about since, I don't know for how many years now, at least a decade now. And I think in 2012 might have been some of my first videos that I put up talking about the directed energy weapons. So for those of you who are just now learning about this technology, there was a video that came out many years ago from Boeing and from Halliburton, I believe, and I could be wrong. So, but I do know it was Boeing, and they came out and they were boasting about this new weapon that they have, a laser energy weapon, basically an invisible laser that has a 100% accuracy. There's our little kitty, and it basically took out a drone. You know how small drones are, right? So it took out a drone, 100% accuracy. Like, I think it was like 9 out of 9 times, 7 out of 7 or 9 out of 9. And so they were boasting about this 10 years ago, right? So I've been talking about this since then. Like, hey guys, look at this new military technology they got. I'm an Aquarian, so I kind of live in the future. I kind of watch new technology before it's ever going to come out and see like, whoa, what are they maybe going to release to the public eventually soon. You got to remember, back in the day, they had the stealth fighter, the stealth bomber, right? They didn't release that until the 80s, right? When we finally got to see it flying around. I believe it was in the 80s when I was a little boy and living in California still. I believe they finally announced that the stealth bomber has been flying around for 50 years, right? And that's maybe what people thought was an identified flying object, right? They couldn't identify it, right? It was unidentifiable because it was so fast. You know, they came out with the Concorde, and the Concorde would fly like at this like ultra top speed. I don't even know how fast the Concorde was. They eventually canceled that. I don't know why, but it was the fastest jet that passenger jet airline that anyone could fly. So we've had technology out that they don't release to the public for a very, very long time, right? So this directed energy weapons, they released to the public in 2012. That's like over a decade ago, guys. I've been talking about it since then. Nothing new to me. So, okay, let's go back to Eric. I started watching Eric. He starts talking about how we don't want to be entertaining these, I'm just going to say it, conspiracy theories. Although this label has been brought in from like, I believe in the 70s when they wanted to try to like just disarm people's word and what they're talking about. Just like, you know, just call them like, oh, you're a bunch of clowns. Oh, you're a bunch of numbskulls. Oh, you're a bunch of nitwits. So, you know, and then no one else is going to listen to them, right? So now we're a bunch of CTs, right? We're a bunch of aluminum tinfoil hat wearers, you know, like, right? Like, okay, whatever. I like to stick to science, and I like to show you guys proof. So this has been going on forever. We can do what I did in the video before, where we simply just went through and I said, okay, let's look at this, right? Invisible laser beam that takes out a drone, and then bam, showed it, and then talked about how it was hitting a target that was a 80, 82, 84 millimeter. You know how big that is. As a glass blower, I know that a 1-inch tubing is 25.4 millimeter, right? So basically 25 millimeter, right? 25.5 millimeter. You know how big a millimeter is? You know, millimeters, that's like probably 2 millimeters. There you go. That's like a millimeter right there, right? So a half a millimeter, like, oh, like the size of my hair. I got real thick hair. Maybe not your hair, but my hair. So half a millimeter ain't that much, right? So we're talking 82, 84 millimeters. 50 millimeters, 2-inch. A 50 millimeter tubing is a 2-inch tubing for us glass blowers when we go buy supplies. So then you just add another 1 inch, that's 75 millimeter, and they're talking 82, 84 millimeter. You know, that's barely anything, guys. And they're hitting this with 100% accuracy. This is 10 years ago. All right, so start watching this guy, Eric. I don't trust him, so I subscribe to him so I can follow him and what he's doing, trying to hold him accountable for things. And you know what? He's been on the up and up. And so I now consider him a friend to the Hawaiians there, a friend to myself, a friend to the people. And he has the aloha spirit to be able to just continue to share this love, to share the aloha, to be able to keep on giving to the community. So I give many thanks to Eric for being there. He's a godsend. It's what many people are saying. He's a godsend. So, as I first started watching him, he's talking about how he doesn't believe in any of these conspiracy theories or any of these things that people are talking about. That let's keep this on the hush. Let's not talk about this because we got to get to the facts, and we got to get to the facts, and we don't need all this outside interruption and stuff, right? So Eric is talking about this. Watch this. Look at what he's talking about now. Look at what he's talking about now, guys. Since day one, he's like, I don't believe in these things and this and that or whatever. But now, what is he talking about? The directed energy weapon. Right there. Or what? He says, or what? Because, he's still like, I don't really want to believe in these things. But, hard factual evidence is going to really make people question themselves and everything that they've believed in. And the fact that they've been believing in a government entity that they feel is here to protect us, when really they're here to just take whatever they can and rape and destroy this earth and take as much as they can while they keep us down, hold us down, keep us distracted. Right now, I'm completely distracted from being able to even do anything because of all this information that's coming out. And then they're distracting us with false information and all this stuff. So then we got to try to figure out how to prove to you guys that these things are real. All right, so I'm just going to play this video. We're going to keep the volume down so I can kind of talk about what they're doing. So right now, as we come in, they're basically trying to open up this vehicle here to get underneath the hood. Okay, so that's what this individual's name, he just met him, and I don't want to get his name wrong. Sorry, so I'm not going to try to say it. He's trying to get under the hood right here. So this video, sorry, let me make sure you guys can actually see what's going on here. So in this video, I'm trying to remember this guy's name. The man in blue, let's just say the man in blue, the guy who's protected from lasers. Oh, there he goes. He opens it up. He found Eric from Maui Real Estate. They just met this morning. The video that they're doing right here. Look at that. Look at that. It's paper. Oh my gosh.
So creepy.
That's just the house. He said that was the block. That was the block right there. Aluminum. That's just the block was just crisp. All right. So, okay. The reason why they're at this vehicle and the reason why this is, they're calling it more evidence. They actually called one of the other videos the smoking gun. And you're seeing this stuff, and I don't know if I'd be touching it. But then at the same time, I mean, if it is what it is, if it's possibly, allegedly microwave lasers, well, that doesn't do anything. I mean, people eat food all the time with microwave foods, right? Like, people don't believe that it harms them. They don't realize that the vital and ital nutrients and everything is basically being desecrated within those microwaves, but they still eat the, whatever the warm flesh of the foods and the meats and stuff. Right. So what's even crazier now is that this vehicle is out in the middle of nowhere. You see how it's just surrounded by dirt? And right below down there, right down there, is where they had a grass fire. And you can see there's patches of unburnt grass. You can see the yellow right in there. You can see the, it's weeds that should have just easily all caught, right? But how does a grass fire jump and then incinerate? This is incineration right here. High heat, guys. This is like rocket stove heat. This is like crematory heat. This is like putting things in a kiln and then just cranking up that kiln heat. This is like using my glass blowing torch and just putting it in there and not worrying about whether or not it's going to just melt and drip all over when you're blowing glass. Like whatever, just hold it there until it just drips and melts. I know borosilicate glass, tempered glass, which I believe the windshields are tempered glass. I don't know if windshields are made from borosilicate glass though. I don't know if it's got soda lime or any other kind of stuff within there. I don't know if it's just the boron and the silica within to make the borosilicate glass. So I need to look into windshields to know what the temperatures are. But borosilicate glass melts at 2100 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is Celsius. That's probably close to 3000 or more Celsius. But 2100 degrees is the melting point. Now, to get to a molten state, you got to hold your glass in that flame at a constant heat. So my torch is easily at like 3,000 to 5,000 degrees, depending on how high I bring the oxygen up and how big I make the flame. You know, I'm usually working on my little tiny jewelry torch tip on top, and I rarely bust out the big flame on the bottom. You know, that's usually when I do bigger stuff, working on tubes and vessels, smoking accessories, things like that. Now, that flame gets super hot. It makes the whole room get hot. I have to have the air conditioner on, the fan on. I start sweating. I need to make sure that I'm drinking plenty of water. It gets hot in there. Still, it's hard for me to get molten glass to even occur. For it to like liquefy and then continuously liquefy.
Yeah.
So that's what when they show the glass and the windshields, like it's like they vaporized on contact. Is what like I was like, whoa, because not only did they melt, but then it shattered. But I know that also not being kilned glass, you know, it'll rapidly cool. So it'll go from extreme heats and then it cool, and then that glass will break and shatter, right? So these individuals are out here at this vehicle, right? And hold on, this is what I actually wanted to capture here. So I want to actually bring the volume up right here so we can talk about this. Because, yeah, this is when he starts talking and he walks over to the car on the side and he talks about how he's a 200 and some pound man and he gets pushed. All right. So, yeah, let's get to right here where they start talking about how they just met and everything like that. We'll start at 10 minutes in on this video. It's a 39-minute video. I haven't even watched it all the way through. I only got to right here at 22 minutes in. And at 21 minutes in, they get approached by police in the Nissans, those vehicles. All right, so I only got to here. And so I still got like another 20 minutes to watch. I don't know if we're going to watch it all. I want to really focus on trying to get this quick and short and sweet, 30 minutes or less. We only got 13 minutes to go. So let's listen to this. This is probably going to take us to 30 minutes here. I'm going to bring the volume back up, and we can hear what this gentleman has to say. We'll get his name at this point as well.
How hard it is to burn stuff inside without oxygen and like in an enclosure.
Closed area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so for it to go inside there.
So I'm just going to put you on the spot. You got any theories?
I haven't seen anything that can do this yet. Not personally.
Really? So even in all the outlandish things that you've heard on the internet, is there like
I've seen stuff on movies that could do this.
Right. I have scientists telling me that this is Star Wars.
Yeah, stuff like that.
This is Star Wars level
Like the
stuff.
Death Star, like pointed its gun at us.
Scientists are telling him that.
Correct. This is like legitimate scientists. They're telling me, Eric, tell me if these photos and these images I'm seeing are real, because I don't think they can be, because it breaks science.
Yeah,
it's like that's never been, that they don't understand.
Yeah, definitely like the Death Star pointed its little gun at this thing.
So, I mean, again, I don't believe in this stuff personally, and I don't know if you do, but could a direct energy weapon do something like this to your knowledge?
I've seen flashlights on TV and stuff. That's all I've seen.
Yeah.
But personally, I don't know. No,
every time I hear that, I just check out. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, until
See, they don't believe in that crap.
Right.
I'm very skeptical.
That's the first thing you told me when we met this morning. I've never met you before. And
I don't believe in crap unless there's evidence.
Stuff I've seen that you need to see.
Yeah.
But the first thing you said is you don't believe in all that conspiracy garbage. You need to see stuff with your own eyes, and then you kind of go from there.
Yeah, when you see stuff like this, it makes your head turn sideways like a dog.
You see enough evidence, and you know it's not.
Here's that funny sound.
Just a theory anymore.
By the way, that day that you were in the wind, you said that you heard some sounds that were similar to a tornado. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Listen to this.
6 months ago, there was a really big tornado in Texas, and I was just over 100 yards away from it. And that tornado, our RV was like floating, and I opened the door, and I heard this distinctive sound, and it sounded like almost like a high-rise building on the spin cycle. Just, it was a scary scary, eerie sound, because it was like at that time that I heard it, it wasn't a serious wind that I could feel, but it was like it was something that you could just tell it had power behind it. And I heard that same sound the day of the fire when I was directing traffic 3 times.
Yeah.
And it did knock me up against the rail, and I'm 240 pounds, so I was a foot away from the rail, and me and the guy who stand next to just got totally slammed against the guardrail.
Yeah.
And you know, it was, you could almost literally see the wind and the debris spinning.
Well, almost like a tornado or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been on scene since.
Okay, guys. So what he just described is what I understand to be high frequency gigahertz sound vibrations. Let's do this real quick. We're gonna go live searching, so there's no questions asked on how I come to anything here. All right, I'm just gonna open up another YouTube tab. I could have duplicated that, I know. And we're just gonna open up another YouTube tab here. And because I know what to search for, we're going to look at Reuben's tube. So, I don't know if you guys can see that. It didn't type anything in because my computer's so slow. Bear with me. Okay, so we're going to look up Reuben's tube. Okay, I don't know if you guys know about Reuben's tube. All right, let's bring the sound down because we don't want to get any kind of a sound copyright infringements or anything like that. But let me share with you what Reuben's tube is. Cymatics. So cymatics, what is cymatics? Cymatics, okay, should we look up cymatics? So basically, let me just describe what Reuben's tube is. It's a tube with a bunch of holes in it, like a flute. All the same size holes. It's just a tube. I don't know if they used a glass tube, if they use a steel tube, if they use a copper tube, aluminum tube. I don't know what kind of tube that they use. But this individual, Nigel Stanford, is a musician, and he has figured out how to send sound, audio. So he's probably just hooked up a little speaker into a tube and sending sound into a tube. And the tube, for some reason, picks up the sound vibration. Here, let me just give you a quick demonstration with the sound on.
The fifth experiment in the Cymatics music video is the Reuben's tube.
So the Reuben's tube is my personal favorite experiment.
Okay, just tell us how it works.
Okay, so we've got our propane. It's going to flow in here. There's a line of holes here. One end is blocked off, the other end has a piece of latex on it. And we're going to play a sound very loudly onto the latex. It's going to form standing waves of gas, and it's going to come out the holes at different heights depending on the frequency of the waves. Plan?
There you go.
Oh, that's good, that's good.
That's a nice, safe plan. It looks like a graphic equalizer, just made out of fire, which is really visually exciting. It looks like a Gothic organ or something like that. So a lot of the testing with the Reuben's tube had to do with finding out what waveforms form the most pleasant looking standing waves, and then how we could use that to create a piece of music. To complicate things, I wanted to shoot in slow motion, which meant that we would have to...
You see how the fire gets really, really larger with the high frequency? It's kind of like what he was talking about with the high pitch roar of a tornado, and he heard it 3 times that day. And the sound was so powerful, it pushed a 240-pound man a foot back up against a guardrail. So my theory is very simple. Use a simple pin, a laser pointer, like a pocket pointer. I'm pretty sure I have one of those here. You just get a little laser pointer. You can catch fire with that. And then you just amp up sound frequency. And voila. It's that simple, guys. So, anyone can make a Reuben's tube. All you need is a tube with the same size holes, all measured out accurately, right next to each other. Send some propane in, light it on fire. It safely will ignite. Propane is a very safe flame, although I'm not recommending any of you guys go and do this unless you want to learn about pyrotechnics first and learn about safety and all that first. But simply, anyone can make this, is what I'm saying. Like, theoretically, anyone can make one of these by putting a latex, a balloon on the end. You just simply get a balloon. Back in the day, we made a cymatic tube. So let's look at cymatics, okay? What is cymatics? Cymatics is a sound frequency, energy, vibration that you can visualize. Let's make sure the volume's down. We don't want to hurt anyone's ears. Okay, here's a good one. The Chladni plate. So the Chladni plate shows you sound and vibration right here, okay? Now, what is frequency, energy, and vibration? I mean, what is all this? In the beginning, there was sound. Let there be light. So first there was a vibration of sound, which was within the firmament, which then vibrated at a point that created light. Scientists have found that if you vibrate frequencies through water, you can create a spark of light, and if you hold that frequency and the energy as well. So the thing is, you need the vibration to be a certain megahertz frequency. So depending on what the hertz is, if you know about solfeggio frequencies, it all starts at 174. I can teach you solfeggios easily to where you know them all. 174, you start there. The 1 becomes a 2, the 7 becomes a 8, the 4 becomes a 5. That's how you get the next number. The digits, all you do is you add one number to each digit and it'll give you the next one, 285. 285 becomes 396. In numerology, you don't have 10. So the 9 reverts back to 1. Not 0, reverts back to 1. So that's what cymatics is being able to see it. So they have cymatics in a water petri dish, which I think it's actually, they put a gel in there. It's actually not water to make it look even more. I watch a lot of these things, but it's so amazing to see this. So we've created a cymatics tube with PVC and a rubber. I don't know if I don't know when it was. I think it was like even 2012, like way long ago. And I was learning about direct energy weapons. I was learning about cymatics. Making your own tonoscope. Okay, so this is a tonoscope here. Oh, that's a simple tonoscope, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so that's what it's called, a tonoscope. Cymatic tonoscope. Okay, so let's look up a tonoscope. Because you guys can make one of these and not hurt yourself with fire and flame. Okay? And you don't need to like do all the speakers and all this stuff. Are they not going to show how to make one? It's real simple. All you need is like PVC pipe with one elbow joint that's at a 45 degree. And then you put dang it. And then you put a balloon over the end and you cap it off with the rubber band, and then you basically like blow into it or make sound vibration like oh, and you see what that does, and then try to like bring up you amplify. So as a musician, I understand, okay, there's sounds, right? Every guitar string has a certain note that it should be tuned at for the guitar to sound right. If it's out of tune, that means that the strings aren't in the right frequency that they should be. The right sound frequency, the right vibrational frequency for it to create a sound pitch that we can hear. This also works with light as well. There's sound, there's light, there's a lot of different waves, microwaves and the big waves. I don't know what they call those. Gigawaves. So they don't have it. I really wish that I could show you how to make a tube. You know what? On one of the videos coming, there it is. On one of the and it looks like, yeah, it looks like a smoking device. Everyone's going to say that. I know. But it's not, okay? That's not what it is, YouTube. No one's doing any smoking here, okay? This is a rubber band. Yeah, just a rubber band with some sort of maybe it's a black balloon or something like that. Some sort of a rubber sheet on it. You put salt or sugar on here, and you basically blow into it to create different vibrations. And you can learn how to make specific vibrations, like the flower of life, the seed of life, the tree of life. You can have two atoms splitting. You can show that. You can see it all happening at once. You can make almost like squares and all these different patterns, all these beautiful patterns. Having the beautiful frequency and vibration is exactly what Dr. Emoto was talking about when you're putting love and good intentions, good vibrations into your water. By praying over your water, you then make these beautiful vibrations happen within the cellular form of the water. And that's all it is. It's just putting good vibration. That's all it is. So you don't want to create bad vibrations. You want to always have good vibrations. You never want to put bad vibrations out there, because it affects everyone and everything around it. The sound bubble. Because the sound bubble, you can see it right there. There's a sound bubble. It's a balloon that's on top of the end of the tube. So that's all you need. You just need a tube hooked up with like I said, it's a 45 degree elbow joint on there. And ours was actually just the same size tube. I really like that they have a bigger end piece here. And I don't know if they have the bottom capped. I would have maybe capped the bottom because it probably would have vibrated it a little bit better. So that's how you make it. We can make one of these on a video very soon. So let's go back to the video here, and he can talk some more about what he wants to talk about. Oh, hold on. Also, so before he goes on, let's just go back to this real quick. All right? Just go back to this. Oh, what'd you send me right there? Blue roof. Blue roof operation where everyone's tarping their homes now. That's what you sent, huh?
I sent a bunch of other stuff.
Oh, that's what showed up right away right there. This is my wife right here, so I can pull her up. But yeah, FEMA Operation Blue Roof. Everyone's getting tarps and covering their roofs now. I figured, that day one, we're like, wait a minute, blue blocks lasers, which is what this is right here, right? This whole video right here. And we're You know, they're talking about this statue, and they brought a statue in, and they created basically like a one of those cooking lenses. You know, it's a concave or convex lens, and it will direct all the light into one pinpoint to where you can make a solar cooking disc. You know, I've learned how to make these with survival and stuff. You make a solar cooking disc, and it can do this. There's another video that I just watched this morning that I wanted to show you, but they're talking about how basically the blue blocks lasers. So they're talking about lasers and how blue, everything that's blue is still standing. And in Lahaina, there's all these flags and all these umbrellas and all this stuff. So right here, laser weapon can be programmed for different wavelengths. That's what that said right there. So you can program it for different wavelengths of color frequencies, of color spectrum. So maybe not always blue is going to work, guys. Operation Blue. Because I've also noticed that there are some red things also standing in these videos. There are red tile, Spanish tile roofs that are up there. So this video here, you know, is one that I wanted to share out to you guys. Let's pause this, mute that. Let's make sure this is also paused. And all right, so let's go back to the video here. Hold on real quick. Uh-oh, you guys started playing Looney Tunes on that over there. I'm trying to keep my stuff over here, and you guys are watching Looney Tunes over here.
I didn't put it up.
All right, let me go back into history. All right, hold on a second. We like to watch cartoons. Oh yeah, actually,
You wanted to show.
I
them
wanted
that
to
one video.
share that video
The crazy one.
with the rationing and the blue stamps, and how very soon we're gonna have everyone under the whole digital coin currency and also the social credit score. All right, so yeah, we're here. I basically wanted to show you. Nope, that's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to show you the playlist, to make sure you know about the playlist. Always go to the playlist, and you can see my video talking about all the stuff that was left that got blocked by blue, or that blue blocked the microwaves or whatever that they programmed. So that's basically what I'm trying to get to right now, to my channel, to show you my playlist. If you ever go to my channel, remember, I do not just upload videos, I always go live. So always go to my live tab right here and open that up. Don't worry about what's on the home page, because there's some cool videos here. Please check those out as well. But my lives is really where I'm talking about all of this right now. And then go to the playlist. And when you go to the playlist, go to the I think it'll be the first one for you. For me, it's the first one, but it could be because that's where, you know, the computer has cookies and it may be saving it right there. For me, it might not be for you, but it's right here. Go to view full playlist, and then you can see all the different videos, and then scroll through from there, because you probably don't want to just sit there and watch all 170 some videos that are in there. There's probably 775 now, 184. Oh my gosh. That's how many I'm adding. Okay. I got it. There's some of these that I got to watch still and catch up with. So, yeah, they built a wall around Lahaina. Possibly, okay, I will be very careful with this video here, because there are some things, but this is the one I wanted to show you, was the Simpsons predictions here. This is another one with the Simpsons. I do not own this copyright or the video here. It's been put into the public domain for me to be able to easily access and retrieve, and I'm simply just sharing it with my viewers here for my own personal entertainment.
Here we come.
All right, so this is a video episode where I guess the Simpsons they're getting ready to go go to Hawaii, and they leave Homer there, I guess, right? And he's like, what? What about it? So they say it, right? They say it a lot, right? And then check this out. So this is a new footage here of a longer video. And I wanted to point this out because they're talking about these cars right now and how the cars, all the windshields just vaporize. And also, look at this. The very first thing that they show, as soon as it starts to go, right? What does it do? It hits the ground. I haven't even pointed this out yet. There are tracks in the asphalt. Like as if this is occurring, as if a laser just went through the asphalt, going from one location, one home, crossing the street, hitting cars, going to the next area of cars, crossing the street. That wasn't a fire burning the street like that. You see what they're showing you right here, right away. And then also what I noticed in this video, because this is a longer video, right? It singes the grass, right? Boils the water, right? The fish are jumping out. It boils the water, guys, right? And then vaporizes this coyote, right? Just smithereens, right? And what they've been talking about. You can't, they're not now asking everyone for DNA because they're trying to extract stuff from the ashes. Like, really? Like this was a crematory type burn? You know, I work in cremains doing memorial glass. As a glass blower, I can embed cremains into glass. those cremains are extremely powdery, but yet there are a little bit of particulates, is what I'll say. It still remains within there. And sometimes there's a little bit of moisture within those particulates, because when I embed it into glass, that moisture will come out in the form of an air bubble. That's why I can't use too much of it, especially if there's too many particulates. I have to use more of the fine ash from the cremains in order to embed it into the glass, so there's no moisture whatsoever. So this here, you know, you get to see all of this happening. Now this right here, look at that. It shows, I don't know if you saw that, but it shows it specifically going directly onto glass. Marty's mirrors, right? Goes directly onto the glass, and I believe it vaporizes. Like as soon as it touches the glass, like we're talking about with these windshields, right? And also, I guess the mirrors directed the lights back out, right? And no extinguishers, right? Just closed yesterday. Oh, our water mains just went down. Huh, interesting. Right? The penitentiary got burnt, right? So they're saying that this was so hot that it could even like burn through cinder block walls, creating rubble, right? We're talking about rubble here. Squirrel Tribe, Michelle from Squirrel Tribe, she mentioned that how they're talking about rubble with fires. Most of the time, rubble is talked about when you're talking about explosions and things, you know, rock and stuff blowing up. You know, it's crazy. Not with natural fires. Not with natural wildfires. I mean, a wildfire doesn't get this hot to melt aluminum and all that. So we'll get back to the individuals over there. And, you know, I did not even keep note on what that guy's name was. Laser eye surgery. So see, they're talking about it basically being like a laser, right? And this is what it looked like before. And after. Just completely desecrated, guys. So this video here, I don't know if there's anything more that they're going to really show or talk about that I really want you guys to see. Oh yeah, this right here. I do want to point this out, okay? This one right here could be real. because there's the guy is like panning around like, hold on. This guy's panning around like he's looking for something, like he knew it was about to happen, right? Bam. See that? Now, allegedly, this is a directed energy weapon, right? He's looking around, and ta-da, he caught it on film, right? Now, this next one here, guys, I've seen that the next one has been debunked, that there's video of it. Actually, this is a gas station, and the gas station, there's video of no laser coming in, and then the fire just erupts. So, you know, with editing today, either the laser was removed and then it erupted, or it erupted and then someone added a laser in and edited it in. So be careful on what you guys watch and what you see on here, because some things may be real and some things may not. Just like they always hide truth in fiction. Watching cartoons and things, you may find some truth in there, even though it's a cartoon. And people will think you're crazy when you say, oh yeah, remember that cartoon episode with the Simpsons, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, and they're like, dude, it's a cartoon. Don't take it so seriously. And it's like, you guys, all this stuff is being written. There's one individual who owns all of the TV stations and TV channels and everything. You know? All right, so let's go back to the video here. And I'm sorry, we're now at 45 minutes. This is going to be an hour-long video. So let's go back to this individual. I don't know his name yet.
I know you love, and you've been driving all over the place. I know you're shocking a lot of these brothers. They know you, these guardsmen. Yeah, hats off to them. Thank you for their service and what they're doing. Yeah. What, if you had to list the top 5 things that you've seen so far that are kind of fishy, that don't make sense to you, besides obviously the bombshell that we just revealed to the world, any other notes or bullet points that you think were just don't make sense, or that just don't add up?
Well, for the people that hear, you know, because I know there's a lot of internet stuff going on. The communities are being fed. They're given water and food in abundance. There's no lack of. Okay. And FEMA was never stopping that, because I heard some stuff about, you know, they were putting a halt to that.
Well, they did block supplies coming in at one point. But anyway.
But not where I was.
Thank you, Eric.
I didn't see any of that.
So yeah, they were, and then they weren't. So some places
I never
were.
saw any fire trucks.
Do you see anyone spraying a fire at any time? Any water coming out of the fire truck?
No. And then the police department were just, it was like, you know, they were just running around like chickens, just had no idea what was going on or what to do.
Do you believe, this is a big question, the police were directing traffic around down power lines?
No, they weren't. Actually, I was.
You were? Okay. So in your opinion, and I know we love our police, man, and I'm not trying to throw anyone
I'm not
the bus, right?
It's just,
what is it
He
that
just
the police
said-
were doing? Were they just...
They asked him, did you see any police directing people away from the power lines going down? He's like, no, I was the one who was directing them away from the power lines. There's video from Jonathan Herzog. His video shows him driving in from on the highway going into Lahaina, not worried about anything, not worried about a fire, not worried about the weather. He's watching the cyclones out in the water because the winds are high. But that's something that they are used to. You know, they're out there in Hawaii. And so, Jonathan Herzog, he drives. The police actually reroute them in circles. And eventually he's driving underneath power lines that are scraping the top of his vehicle. So, no, police were not rerouting them away from power lines. If anything, they were directing them into them and causing them to have more of a pileup. Well, not a pile up, but a backup in traffic there, a standstill to where no one was able to leave. 2 ways out onto the highways, and they blocked both of them, guys. The only way to get out was up country, I believe. All right, we'll let them continue.
How do you explain what they were doing? Is there any explanation?
one of them said that they were following the orders of the chief of the fire department.
Just following orders.
And I was like, okay. So, because I was trying to ask a question about how they justified routing the residents into the neighborhood where the fire was headed. And he goes, well, it's up to the chief of police. And I go,
Chief of police? Or
chief of fire department. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks for breaking.
Chief of fire was telling the
We heard he was
police
on
what
fire.
to
That's what we've
do.
heard. We don't know.
Yeah, so I don't even know, but that's what the cop told
That's
me.
what the cop told you.
Yeah.
That's the rumor we've heard is that
Yeah,
the, chief,
so-
the emergency management director was on Oahu. That's confirmed. It didn't fly
Okay.
back until the next day or the day after. Chief
Yeah.
of the fire department, we're told, was gone, and also the governor was off, not in the state.
I did talk to Hawaiian Electric, and one of the guys, he sounded like a very intelligent guy. He said that the power grid for Lahaina was rated at 60 miles per hour, and the protocol, anytime there's a high wind advisory, protocol is to kill power anytime they hear a high wind advisory that's closer to the maximum wind velocity that it can withstand.
Yeah.
And he said that was not met.
Never met
And
that
he told us
70,
my
80 miles
They
per
never,
hour.
they never met
They
that.
never, yeah, he said, well, it was said that it wasn't turned on. And that, because I asked him, I go, well, is the termite infestation at the bottom of all the poles that fell? He goes, no. He goes, that doesn't matter. It's the fact that when the wind blows at such a high rate that it causes, this is what he told me, it causes the power lines to sway back and forth. And when they touch, that shorts out the transformer, and it blows the transformer, and it blows embers all over the dry grass. And that's what starts the fire.
Right, because the highest point that we could find on aerial imagery was right below the substation on
Okay.
Lahaina Luna. That's the
Okay.
highest point. So if the wind is blowing straight towards the ocean, east to west, then it would make logical sense
Right,
that
and
the highest
especially if
point.
it's running parallel with the wind, yeah.
Correct, the highest point was right
Or
below
not
that
parallel, but
substation,
cross.
which is right sort of below the solar field next to Lahaina Luna High
Right.
School. That's the highest point that we could
And I
find.
think we're going up there
We are.
from here, yeah.
So any
Oh, they're
other
going
things
to the
that you
solar.
saw
Okay.
that day that
I can't wait
make
to
any
see what
sense?
happens with the solar.
Well, since that day, besides
all
obviously, if
glass.
you just joined the live, we were just pointing out a car that is next to a small grass fire over here. You can tell there's pieces that didn't even burn. So not a big raging fire right here. We're right next to the bypass, right below Langiapoko. You can tell all that grass did not burn. Yet we have a car sitting here in plain sight,
Incinerated.
incinerated with what all is melted here in your opinion that we've just shown? We got melted glass.
It'd probably be easier to count what's not melted. Right. The A-arms and the struts are good. Any thick metal. So, and then for some reason the sheet metal withstands high heat. And yeah, it's just the frame. The frame and then the sheet metal is the only thing that's left.
And what about in the engine? What melted in there? Should we show them again? Just for people that are
the-
just joining
the-
the live right now.
The intake,
And this is a enclosed area that's harder to heat,
no
right? 'Cause
yeah,
it's
there's
enclosed.
no oxygen
No
in here.
oxygen in
Yeah.
here.
Nothing.
So all the aluminum, anything aluminum, plastic got melted. Any of the copper, the battery, the lead in the battery, the brake master cylinder, all the you see all the copper is actually still there from the electrical harness, but it's pretty much it's beyond what you call
A grass
a
fire.
wildfire.
Oh yeah, beyond what even this circumstance, because we're completely surrounded by gravel. Take a look at this area. You can see this car standing out here in the middle of this highway, which is still, thank goodness, accessible by the sheriff's not allowing us to be here. We couldn't park here. We had to walk down. But you can see that grass is fine. That grass is fine. And this car has been melted. And the only heat source could have been this grass coming up from here, which is not a lot of fuel. So if you started a little grass fire right here, there's no way in God's green earth you could create this level of destruction. Am I right?
Yeah, just look at the tires. I mean, the tires are.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Threads are all over for the.
So, okay, so we're
All right. Let me just point out, he just said that the sheriffs were being cool and allowed him. At the beginning of the video, he stated that the Maui sheriff were okay with them being over there and filming. They just couldn't park their vehicles along the highway. So they had to walk over, So maybe they were allowing them to walk over thinking, oh yeah, that's fine. You can walk over, whatever. Not thinking they were going to stop and film. In just a moment, they're about to get approached by police.
gotten caught up. For those that just joined the live, this is Donovan. He was in the fire,
Donovan.
helping people, turning around traffic like the cops should have been, back to the north that were coming down from the north. he noticed that they were directing cars that were coming from the north into a neighborhood that subsequently burned, which is a very maze of cul-de-sacs and dead ends. And then the people that were coming from Lahaina town were being squeezed through a choke point on the north end of Front Street.
They were being pushed into an area where there's nothing but cul-de-sacs and a maze of places that you can't really get out. That's where the police were pushing them into. That's what he just said.
Which we have photos that can prove.
Yeah.
So he's a eyewitness, and he took lots and lots of he has lots and lots of memories and some other things that we won't mention that we're going to preserve for all eternity. And if anyone has any suggestions where we should be preserving our digital images, we're already getting reports of people that are losing those images. We are not allowed to go into the burn zone. There's a fence, there's guards, there's guardsmen, there's police, there's sheriffs. We're not allowed to fly over the burn zone. There's a TFR that's still in place. So we need to be able to, as the people of this country, the citizens of the world essentially, need to find out what this is and how this is possible and get some answers to these questions. So anything else? I just got kind of caught up. What are any other things you want to highlight before we stop the live and go to our next location that you're going to show us?
Yeah.
Thank you, Donovan, by the way. You're a real American hero right now, my fan.
I think we covered most of it.
Most of it? Okay.
Yeah, for now.
All right. So on that note, I just want to end this live saying something that's very important, I believe.
And you can just have them look up the heat that it takes to do the damage, and they can compare that with other fires to see, it's like, okay, they go, because they always throw that conspiracy theory thing out there.
They can do their own research.
Yeah, go look up what the melting points, yeah, exactly. And then what other fires have done this and what was around them.
Right. But even if they didn't believe that, you can still just logically go a little bit of grass that's burning right there and no fuel around this car whatsoever and nothing coming from that end. How in the world could it create enough fuel to melt this vehicle the way that it has? So now the police or somebody has shown up.
Yeah, we're out of here.
We're out of here.
Okay. We're on our way out, sir.
How's it?
Yeah, we're not allowing no videos or no picture taking, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for your service, by the way.
No problem, no
Good
problem.
looking out.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
We leave right now. We parked over
Yeah,
there.
we're
We were
parked-
told we
we're
couldn't
parked
park
off the
down
road.
here.
Yeah,
But it's
so even
Yeah.
even down there, no parking.
So no media or nothing, yeah?
No.
You ever seen anything like this before?
Not this bad.
Like, just open the hood. You want to see under the seat?
No.
I mean, it's.
So the question
The
we're just asking
engine's
is like,
like
how could this car get this hot with grass? A little grass fire. It didn't jump. It didn't jump. That
There's
grass
nothing
is
burning
good.
over there?
There's even a bunch of grass down there that's
If you look
good.
on the.
Okay, I haven't watched anywhere past this. I didn't know that they started asking them if you want to look under the hood. As soon as they pulled up, I stopped this video and I was like, I'm going to go live and we're just going to point this out real quick on what's going on and then maybe we'll watch what's happening. But wow, they might actually get the police to come check it out. Let's see.
How could you melt? Dude, this is like Star Wars kind of stuff right here.
Yeah,
The cop doesn't even want to see.
What's strange is like
the windshield melted over the shifting.
Yeah.
The
He
linkage.
doesn't want to see.
I mean, it was
Upper part.
like, 1,220 for aluminum. But in the back, you can see it
But just think
liquefied,
about
so
this for a
that's
second,
about
bro.
1,500.
How could that thing get hot
And
enough
then
from a little bit of
if
grass?
you-
How could
If
that
you
get
see
so hot
the cast
on a
aluminum
little
on
bit of
top,
grass? It didn't even
that's
burn the
powder.
grass
It's
down
like-
there.
I mean, you can take
In
it
your
actually
brain,
crumble it.
logically, without knowing any
It's
science,
one of those
nothing
things
about
where you just look and
temperatures,
kind of scratch your
you
head
had
and go,
campfires. How could that
you know,
melt aluminum and tires and steel braided brake lines when there's nothing
I
around?
mean, and
if
if you could
and
just
they've left it
guess,
sitting here on the side of this road.
I wasn't here.
we don't have to be here, just look.
The thing is, I'm from Ohio.
Even if you torch a car, I don't think you can melt aluminum.
Okay, so
That's where the fire was.
if I said I'll give you 10 grand to burn a car like that, what would you need?
I wouldn't even take the money.
You know what I mean? I mean,
That's you going to jail and me going to
I
jail.
mean, no, but say it's at a tow yard where it's a scrap car, not somebody's car, but like how the what's that show where they do? What's that show where they
That's in the burn zone?
where like they do the experiments? That's called where they test everything. It's the red hair guy.
The red roof house. That thing's
can't
getting
see
painted.
You know what I'm
anything.
talking about? Where they
Dang it.
they reenact everything just to prove it wrong. Or
Dang, the reflection from the
it's
sky is
almost like a
covering
comedy
it.
show. It's a redheaded guy.
I mean, I don't want
I
to
can't
sound like
remember,
I'm crazy,
but-
but I feel like this is like
Well, that's what I meant. It's like
attack.
that's the way I look at stuff.
Because it doesn't make any logical sense. I've got scientists telling me that it's like this break science
show
as we know it.
is-
And
Holy,
this one, to
he's
me,
talking to the
it's two
cops.
guys
right
that
there.
do the
stands out
show.
because there's nothing around.
I mean, they do like dart guns and they do, it's like, and they show like clips on Hollywood, and then they.
I wish
prove
they
it that
weren't
it's, like,
both talking
legit.
at the same time, but
the
Yeah.
Mythbusters.
Yeah,
it's good that they're both
Yeah.
talking to the cops
so
right
this-
now.
this-
Doing your job.
Oh, you
We
guys
love
going
the
out?
sheriffs because you guys are sworn to protect the Constitution. So thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Good service, bro.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Aloha. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Phillips and Loom. Lum.
Wow.
Thank you.
Phillips and Lum. All
Stay
right.
safe.
Phillips was showing his,
All right. Whew.
well, I don't know what he was showing.
Yeah,
You
so
can't,
Mythbusters.
allegedly, he was showing something from inside.
Mythbusters. All right, guys, we're gonna head off to the next spot that Donovan's got in store for us. I don't know what it's gonna be, but again, please
All right.
do your best to get this word out. We're amateurs.
I don't
We'll
know if
do
I
it
want
for
to
a
keep
living.
this video
But there's some
going or
really smart
what, because
people
I
out there
don't
that
know
do,
what
so
they're going
we
to
just
show or
asked you
talk
to
about.
give us
It's
your thoughts
still,
on what that means.
we're only at 25 minutes right now. So this is Eric right here. I highly recommend that you subscribe to his channel, Hawaii Real Estate. Make sure you like his videos, share them out, let people know. But what I find interesting is that Eric, when I first started watching him, I was watching him because he's a realtor. And I thought, well, okay, we got to really keep track of these kind of guys. You know, they might want to come in, swoop in, and grab things up, right? So I was really, really cautious on this guy. And it turns out he's actually a really good guy. He's doing so much for the community and helping to give back. Being transparent about it, giving donations on camera so we can see what's going on. So there are no questions on how much money went to this individual or this person or that family or that one or that one. The families are speaking up and saying, yes, we received that much amount of money or this donations or whatever, and thank you so much, and letting you know what they need, all the different supplies and everything that they need, all the necessities. You know, of course, they need food and water. But some of these individuals, they need like cars, they need homes, they need Starlink so they can have internet and stuff. And Eric is one of the individuals who's able to get Starlink and get it to the people. So he's one of the few who actually has internet connection and able to get out there and going live with the cops on camera. I don't know if the police understood or knew that that's what was happening or whatever. But man, I really wish we could have seen what was on that phone right there. You can't see it. You cannot see what is in his phone. It's because of the reflection.
What's that show where they,
That's in the.
Yeah, you can't see anything.
where like they do the
Like you can see, like he scrolls, and then
That's called-
you can
where
see
they,
like there's
they
some
test
sort of
everything.
image that moves over,
It's the
but
red-haired guy.
then all I see is cloud.
The Red Roof House, that thing's getting famous.
You know what's what I'm talking about? Where they reenact everything just to prove it wrong or prove it right. No, it's like almost like a comedy show. It's a redheaded guy.
I mean, I don't want
I
to
can't
sound like
remember,
I'm crazy,
but-
but I feel like this is like a.
But that's what I meant. It's like
attack.
that's the way I look at stuff.
Because it doesn't make any logical sense. I've got scientists telling
Trying to
me
get
like,
Mythbusters out there.
break science
show
as we know it.
is-
And this one to me,
It's
the
two
one that really
guys that do
stands
the
out
show.
because there's nothing around.
I mean, they do like dart guns and they do. It's like, and they show like clips on Hollywood, and then they prove it that it's like bullshit.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Mythbusters.
Yeah,
we're gonna
Mythbusters.
get out of here. We
Yeah.
respect you guys.
Yeah,
Aloha.
so this-
Thank you for
this-
doing your job.
Oh, you
We
guys
love
going
the
out?
sheriffs because you guys are sworn to protect the Constitution. So thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Good service, bro.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Aloha. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Phillips and Loom. Lum.
Wow.
Thank
Phillips
you.
and Lum.
That
Stay
was
safe.
crazy.
All right, you guys.
All right. Whew.
So we can continue, but I think I'm going to keep this at just an hour. Maybe I'll come back, and maybe I'll come back and talk about anything else that I find on this video. But as of right now, this video we covered what they found here. The vehicle just out in the middle of a dirt field, a little bit of grass, but not enough fuel to really catch that car on fire. And even if the vehicle did burn, it'd start, maybe it had a luggage rack, maybe there was something on it. Maybe, you know, maybe it was covered by a car cover, and then that a little bit of embers flew over from the grass. Like, is that really going to catch anything on fire enough to where it's going to catch the whole entire vehicle and incinerate it? I mean, not just like, oh yeah, a couple things burnt or whatever, like, oh no, your car's on fire and the seat's caught or whatever. Like, no, everything, like the steering wheel's gone, the whole dash is gone, all the windshields are melted out and gone, the whole entire block to the engine gone. You know, it's ridiculous, and it's sitting right out there in the middle of nowhere. So we covered that. We covered their ideas on that. You know, I find it crazy now that he is actually contemplating and considering dues. The dews in the mountains, right? Always in the mountains are the dews. So we covered that. We covered the fact that these officers are pulling up, not allowing anyone to take pictures or to stop or whatever, right? No, they said no parking and no taking pictures. Okay, no taking pictures or videos, I guess, right? But then the cop was showing some of the evidence right there. I wish we could have seen what was on his phone. Dang it. I don't know if there's any way that anyone can digitize. Go to Eric's video here, not this one because it's so grainy. I'm basically videoing off the screen itself. But we went over that. We went over the, you know, what we saw with the tonoscopes and how you can make these. We talked about the blue blocking the lasers and everything. So, and we also talked about cymatics and also the Reuben's tube. So you guys go and check out the Reuben's tube. Make sure that you really look into what a Reuben's tube is and how you can easily just put sound into it, and it allows for flame. So a higher frequency creates a higher flame, and specific frequencies too. So it has to do with the solfeggios. And we were talking about solfeggios. You start with the 174, the 1 becomes a 2, the 7 becomes an 8, the 4 becomes a 5. That's how you get to the next solfeggio. 285, the 2 becomes a 3, the 8 becomes a 9, and the 5 becomes a 6. So then it's 396. And then I stopped at, we were talking about in numerology, after 9 there is no 10, and you don't go to 0, you go back to 1. So in numerology it goes 1 through 9 and you start over again. You repeat itself. So after 9 becomes a 1. So after the 396, then the 3 becomes a 4, the 9 becomes a 1, and the 6 becomes a 7. You have 417. And then after 417 is 528, which a lot of people say is the same vibration that the heart chakra resonates at. So these solfeggios are also linked up with your chakras and the energy points that you have within and above and below, and how you can then heal yourself within by certain vibrations and energies. And so there is a lot of science in cymatics and healing frequencies and vibrations, and also they can destroy things. They've talked about destroying leukemia cells by using 2 separate tones, kind of like druid tones, like a real high tone and then a real low tone, and you having them, the 2 tones are separated at the 11th octave, and they're at like 100,000 megahertz frequency or something like that. So it's like extremely fast. Like, you know, the megahertz means that it vibrates. So like a 1 hertz would be like bouncing once, 2 would be like twice within a second or something like that. So a 40 means that it bounces like 40 times. 528, your heart frequency, your heart chakra, means that 528 times per second is the vibration. So those vibrations that you can create, you know, they say like back in the day, they used to levitate things with sound vibration and energy and frequency. And if you can then amplify it, you know, then you can bring them up. So learn the solfeggio frequencies. It goes all the way up to 963 is the highest one. And after the highest vibration, 963, then the 9 becomes a 1, the 6 becomes a 7, and the 3 becomes a 4, and you start over again, 174. And it's basically a rotating a repetition. Solfeggio's is simply a numbers pattern. It's math. It's simple. Once you understand that there is a pattern, and they're all separated by either like 11 and 21 or something like that. I'm not 100% on that. I have to do some math on paper and then really show you. But learn solfeggios, learn about cymatics and frequencies and what those solfeggios can do. So 528 frequency, what kind of pattern does it create on a tonoscope or on a plate, on a metal plate vibrating over a speaker? And then learn how they can amplify fire by using higher frequencies, higher gigahertz frequencies. So not just megahertz, but now we're talking gigahertz. You know, instead of it being one time, it's 1,000 times per second. So, you know, then it's like if you're 40, then it's like 40,000 times per second. You know, gigahertz, extremely high. Learn about these things. Learn about how the whole entire world has basically been created by vibrations, and how the cells vibrate at a certain way and they create meiosis and basically start to pull apart. And that's what the whole flower of life, the seed of life, the tree of life, everything that's all within here. This is all just frequency. This is just a mapped out version. This is also only 2D. This is a 3-dimensional pattern of frequency, energy, and vibration. Not, I mean, let's take away the Zia, which has its own, you know, but I'm talking about everything behind it. You know, the whole flower of life, the seeds of life, and the tree of life, and everything that's all within it. That, knowing about frequencies and energies and everything, it's what Tesla says. When we can finally have conversations within frequency, energy, and vibration, you start thinking in frequency, energy, and vibration, so much can happen, and you can understand so many things. And all this stuff that we're talking about right here, and how they can use a simple laser. Like, I wish I had my little laser beam that I could show you. You know, you use a pinpointer, and you get a pinpointer, right? So just think, like, you know, I don't know if I can put this into the well, it's a red laser. So these ones, I guess, are safe, right? So imagine if you have a green laser, right? And a green laser basically can create enough heat that it'll burn, right? So imagine it, you can't see, right? You can't see it when I turn it on, but you can see where where it might surface, right? So imagine something just coming through and just, and then, imagine that. But a green laser that can ignite things, and then you have that sound vibration to amplify it, like a Reuben's tube or something. Look up HARP, and also look up artificial tornadoes. They're talking about how this is a firestorm. They're talking about how basically it sounded. This guy, oh no, am I gonna forget his name already? Donovan. Sorry, Donovan, who Eric was speaking with here on the video. He was talking about how in Texas he saw a tornado, and that high pitched sound of the way that it sounded like a freight train was coming through. He heard that sound 3 times in Lahaina that day, and that sound was so powerful that him being 240 pounds, that's 100 pounds heavier than I am. Him being 240 pounds got pushed back a whole foot into a guardrail by a sound that he heard 3 times in Lahaina that day. So all you need to do is ignite something, right? Oh, that was like the sun, right? But then you got your laser. So all you need to do is ignite something and then have that sound to create the Reuben's tube effect, or cymatics, that creates a higher flame intensity, which incinerates. So all you need to do is learn how to create. Look up putting a fire out with sound. Lower vibrations can douse a flame. Higher frequencies will ignite it. Look that up. We didn't even look. We're already at 1:15. Let's go one more video. All right. Sorry, guys. So important. I want to make sure that I'm putting it all in here because I don't want to have to double up the information that I'm giving you guys. There's too much to cover. So we're just going to do this again real quick. We are going to look up. What did I just say we were looking up? Gosh, my mind goes so crazy. Dousing flames with sound. How to put a flame out with sound. So these people, I would imagine are like from MIT or wherever, right? So these this guy right here, this is probably the one that I watched. The Henry Ford's innovation. Sound wave fire extinguisher. So they've got that. This fire extinguisher uses sound waves to put out fire. So you see, is it possible to use supersonic sound waves to put out fire? Yes. So if you can extinguish fire with sound, you can also make it bigger. Okay, so instead of dousing, how about igniting? Okay? You guys could see that, right? Everything I was zooming through. Igniting. I'm just going to try to keep this real quick and sweet. All right? Igniting flames with sound. All right? Okay, I don't know how loud this is going to be. We'll bring it down to at least 8 here. We're going to play this short video here. Let me back you out some. Oh, fire whoosh. Sound effects. Okay, that's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for flame sounds. Oh my gosh. Fire sound effects. No. Oh my gosh. All that foam. Did you see that? This guy. He goes to light one little thing and everything goes up. Well, that wasn't smart. Now was it? Why did you do that? Did he even work there? He didn't even have like a shirt on or shoes. Okay. Okay. So maybe they're not going to show us that it's possible. Besides the Reubens too, when they put the higher frequency, it jumps up and it goes bigger. All right. They're not going to show it. With sound frequencies? Maybe I gotta change up the search. Fire waves, seen sounds in flames, Reuben's tube. Yeah.
Good job, Tyler.
Oh. I'm turning it down. Sorry, that high pitch is messing with me. Oh my gosh, that's so high. I'm so glad I turned it down. That's as high as they went? Oh, okay. So you gotta have a specific frequency. Okay, hold on. Look at this. Okay, current frequency. Where did they start? At 72 hertz. Current volume only 40%. So volume also plays a contributing factor to it. So in the amplification, the volume, when you amplify it, as a musician, you understand that you can have an acoustic guitar and it sounds one way, but then you plug it in and you can totally amplify it and it sounds another way, and then you can crank it up, you know. And then once you get into like a concert hall, then you can really crank it up by hooking it all up to all the sound system there with the, you know, all of your front wedges, having your monitors there, and you got your front of house speakers and all of your low your bass boxes, and then you have all of everything else, you know. so that's probably the highest right there, right? And then it gets a little bit lower and lower. And then once it gets to a certain place, then it all becomes one. To where there's like no gaps in between, right? It's like just all lit all across the board at that point. So if you can get it, and I can't see what that cymatics frequency was because they pull out. But at the highest point right there, it's like barely at 182 or 92 hertz right there, and that's when the flame's really big. And that sound is that sound right there, that sound is more familiar to a tornado sound, like what I'm gonna forget his name every time. I want to call him Craig for some reason, but that ain't Craig from All Good Things and All Good Time. And then I keep wanting to call him Alfred for some reason. I'm like, he's not even an Alfred. What was his name? All right, well, I'm going to keep forgetting his name for some reason. That's cymatics with flames and sound frequencies, guys. I don't know what else more to tell you besides look up Reuben's tube and what a Reuben's tube is, and that way you can dang, that's so bright you can't even read it there now. What's going on? Camera's all messed up. Maybe the lighting, because the lighting's different now. All right, so just go and look up Reuben's tubes, and then also just check out all the videos on my playlist, Maui's Fires. I don't have anything else to tell you guys except it is possible to douse flames with sound waves. So if you can douse flames, you can probably also excite flames. All right, and as you can see with different sound vibrations in videos like this one here, you can see how different frequencies, different sound frequencies will have a different intensity with the flame. And it's real interesting that you can then see that wavelengths come through there, right? All right, well, I'm going to let you go with that. Look into directed energy weapons, microwave lasers, how they can program different sound frequencies color spectrum frequencies so they are protected by getting burnt from lasers, you know. And with that, I'm gonna let y'all go. Make sure you go to the Glassman's World. Check out my channel. Be sure to subscribe. We've got over 700. We've got 721 now. We're growing every day. We will be reaching that 1K very soon. I will be doing. We just reached the 700 mark, and I already said that we're going to be doing a giveaway here really soon. So if you're one of my subscribers, comment below. When's the giveaway? And that'll be a good reminder. Just comment below. When's the giveaway? And I'll comment back on to let you know when we're going to do it, and I'll schedule it up. And I don't know exactly what we're going to give away. We may give away some water drops here, because water is life and every drop counts, and it's how we're all connected, all through the cells, all through our nucleic waters within the nucleus and the cells. 90% water. We are all water. Only a little bit of carbon matter. The rest of us is all water, guys. But it's a memory keeper, and that's how it holds us all together. It creates our bodies and what we're all made of and everything. So maybe I'll give away water drops to individuals or something else. I don't know. I make t-shirts. I'm actually going to probably make a Maui Fires t-shirt or something to help honor them. Maybe even utilizing their original flag, and which I believe is the Kanaka Maori flag, and or I don't know what we're gonna do. I do want to help in some way and be able to start to create our own fundraiser where we can send donations out to individuals that we know are actually out there on the island that we can personally help out, and see what we can do. We may actually even be going out there next year. I'm not sure exactly which island, but our friend just passed away, and they want to do a ceremony out there where he was snorkeling out there. His wife is Hawaiian, and her family is out there, so we're going to go out there. I believe we're going to try to at least do our best to get out there and do a ceremony for him. And being that we're going to be out there, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to go to Maui and do my part. You know, I don't really know like what will happen at that point, because once I'm in there, it's going to be hard to pull me away from helping. And at the same time, I don't even know if we're going to be able to make it out there, and my daughter won't go, so I'm going to have to come back for her. She's scared of heights and scared of flying, so I don't know if she'll make it. So I might make it back out to the islands at some point. I was out there in 2008 for only a few weeks, and I fell in love with the Wahoo. I created a song called the Wahoo, which is on my playlist. So if you go to my playlist here on the Glassman's World, please go to the playlist or go to the live tab. Don't worry about what the videos are that I've put up on the homepage. Pretty much everything that I share is on my live feeds nowadays. I just go live. I am unscripted. I'm raw, unedited, unplugged, uncensored. I'm as real as you can get. And I have these created playlists right here. Go to the Maui's Fires playlist, please. You know, you can check out the full playlist. Also, oh, here, right below. In the multiple playlists, these are my highlighted playlists, and maybe what I should do is bring the Maui Fires up to here as well. You have Gardenia glass, so this is all of me blowing glass right here. Sorry, let me scroll up a little bit. Oh, I can't scroll up anymore. Here, let me bring this, pan this down. So you have the Gardenia glass playlist right here, and the Glassman Live Albuquerque. In this playlist, you'll find a video of the Glassman playing Oahu. And you know what? Maybe we'll just end this feed with me playing Oahu. This was recorded live at Elliot's Bar and Grill here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is my video here. It's my music. I own all copyrights. But you're welcome to share it. You have all free access, free and clear by me, free to use. And any videos that you would like, just, you know, please add my name, The Glass Man, and what it's called, Oahu. You're welcome to share it out. Please do. All right, we're going to leave you with this. That song has a whole different meaning now.
What's going on, everyone? Dan the Glass Man here. Got a song for you right now. It's called While I'm Here. It's an old song.
Alright. I'm going to let y'all go with that. There's no reason to continue with the music here. I'm going to come back later, though, today and bring you Music Mondays. However, my guitar is broken. I may actually be picking up a little toy ukulele to perform with today. Maybe play that song Oahu. Although now listening to it, man, singing about the angels in the sky and come and join me in flying so high, it's got a whole different meaning now. A lot of times I'll chant the Hari Nam in that time, Hare Krishna. Sometimes I'll sing Jah and Krishna flying so high in the sky, or flying together, Jah and Krishna. Wow, that song, that's got a whole different feel now, singing that. Alright, you guys, well, I'm going to leave you with that. That's a song Oahu I wrote. It was my experience being in Oahu. It was my first day being there, and then the very next day, well, my brother had given me a ukulele as I got to his home. He presented me a ukulele there, beautiful gift, and I ended up gifting that to my guru after a time, and which my guru directly was taught by his guru, who I believe is out there in Maui. So we have a direct connection there. Krishna consciousness, and the banyan tree is there. The sacred banyan tree from India, over 150 years, is there as well. So yeah, if you'd like, please check out the video Oahu by the Glass Man. That was me with the dreadlocks a few years back. Also, it was pretty thin right there too. But yeah, the Glass Man Oahu, live at Elliott's Bar and Grill. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know what happened with my camera, but it just got way crazy and ridiculous. I'm going to turn the camera around, and I'm just going to say my goodbyes right now. But thank you for listening to that song, Oahu. I may perform it later around noon. I'm going to try to go at noon every Monday for my Music Mondays, and we'll play some music, and we'll try to have a more upbeat video with the music instead of, you know, focusing on what's going on. But it's really hard to not think about what's happening out there in Hawaii, in Maui, and all the children in Lahaina, and what's going on, and are they really blocking anyone from leaving unless they sign their rights away and everything to FEMA. I don't know if any of that's true. Please rewind this video, go back and rewatch it from the beginning. I know it's long, it's an hour and 40 minutes now. I try to keep it at under 30 minutes, and we're at an hour and 40 now. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Love and blessings. Please share out any information you can from this. Just watch it, if anything, and share out the Blue Blocks Lasers video and the one that I put up yesterday, praying for the children of Lahaina, or praying for Lahaina, Maui, and the children, or something like that, or maybe something like that. I don't know which video it is, but from yesterday. All right. Have a blessed day, you guys.